Greetings everyone, my name is Dr. Jason Freeman. I'd like to welcome you all to my channel. In this video I reviewed the book Marvel Studios, The Marvel Cinematic Universe, An Official Timeline. I'm going to tell you what I liked about the book, I'm going to tell you what I didn't like about the book, then I'm going to tell you why I think you should buy the book or just skip it. Now let's get to it. So what did I like about the book? Well, first, this is a beautiful book. Just flipping through the pages, these are very kind of glossy, beautiful pages. Basically, if you want something pretty to look at, even just looking at the cover, this is a really good book to buy. It can make a really good coffee table book. Also, for me, I'm actually going to put this behind me along with my other kind of Marvel and DC comics. And again, I think it'll make a really good addition to that collection. Another thing I liked about the book is that it clarified some things I wasn't sure about within the MCU. For example, it clarifies that the Celestials who created the different stars within the MCU actually predated the Big Bang. Now they talk about, Arsham, I believe is the name of the character, talks about kind of their role in kind of creating life within the universe, but I don't think it was totally clarified that they actually existed before any of the major parts of the universe. Essentially, they existed from some long ago eon. I don't think we really know their origins, and then when the Big Bang happened, that's when they started to create the different stars, including the star within, Midgard's particular star. And speaking of Midgard, it clarifies a lot of things about Loki and Thor. So basically the specific year in which Loki was taken from the frost giants and began to be raised by Odin, that's actually within this particular book. They also revealed that the Ancient One from Doctor Strange was a Celtic woman, but we don't really know her exact age, which is actually really interesting. There's a chance that she could actually be, within the MCU universe, the oldest actual human that we've encountered. There's also a whole section on what happened during the snap, so from 2018 to 2023. So if you want to know what particular people were doing during that period, you can just look in there and you can see specifically where the different people were during the snap. And that's another thing I like about this particular book. There are whole sections on specific topics such as Wakanda, the snap, Iron Man or Tony Stark's whole life origins and everything. And so if there's a specific section or time frame within the MCU you're curious about, you can find that section and kind of get the specific timeline for that particular character or place within the MCU. Another thing I like is that they have this truncated timeline where essentially it kind of sums up everything. So think about the sacred timeline in the Loki series. This is basically it. So from the beginning to the end, kind of talking about when the major events happen within the MCU. And so one last thing I liked about this book is that you have these sections with missed minutes that basically identify continuity errors within the MCU. So basically in one movie they say an event happens in a particular time frame and then they kind of retcon it in a different movie. One thing I noticed is that the Spider-Man movies do this a lot. I don't know if this has to do with it being like the Sony where they kind of play fast and loose when events happens. So in one, I think in the first Spider-Man movie with Michael Keaton as the Vulture, basically he says that the Battle of New York happened like 8 years before, and it's really supposed to be like 4. And so there were a lot of little things like that within that was identified within the book. One that they missed though is when Nick Fury says that
last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
And we find out it was a freaking Kermit, whatever the cat thing is. Yeah, it's annoying. But I did like overall that throughout the book they do mention these continuity errors. And so if you're into that, like what do I miss? How did all those YouTube videos that talk about what was messed up? This book has a lot of those laid out in there. Flurkin, it's Flurkin. Yeah, Flurkin scratched his eye and. No, he didn't lose in battle, though he's a soldier. What did not like about this book? Well, as someone who was not a fan of some of the series, such as She-Hulk, for example, whenever I got to those sections, I kind of rolled my eyes. I'm like, I know it's in here. I know it's part of the MCU timeline, but honestly, I wish it wasn't. Like, for example, this nonsense right here. So they have, so if you remember the end of She-Hulk, they have the ending that was good where you bring in the Hulk coming in and actually stopping the other bad guy they had set up and all that stuff. So that was the good ending. And then they broke the fourth wall, and now you have the stupid ending with the kid Hulk's Sakaar. Yeah. So if I had known this was in here, there's a chance I might not have bought the book because I hate that so much. But that's the one big thing. Like there are definitely parts of the MCU, especially some of like the movies, like with Quantumania and stuff like that, where the book will kind of bring back those bad memories, especially if you hated that particular thing. And so the question is, does it balance out? And that's what I'll get to in the very kind of end of this video. So, should you buy this book or just skip it? And so, as someone who's seen all the movies, and the shows at this point, there isn't really anything in here that was super shocking. There are a lot of things, and also with YouTube, you can look up and there's been things talked about, continuity issues and stuff like that. And so in that regard, in regards to like, if you want to go to this book to answer all your big questions, well, if again, watch the movies or, go out there and watch these YouTube videos that cover the same stuff. So if you're just trying to answer the questions, I don't think it's really worth it. Again, especially if you've seen all the movies, everything is in here. There's nothing really shocking. The other thing is, if you have really hated where the MCU has gone in recent years, especially with the shows, then this probably is not the thing for you. Because again, as I was the first half of the book is of course awesome when they go and talk about, you go back to the earlier movies. The Eternals part, I'm not as big of a hater of the Eternals as some other people. I like the director, and so I saw what she was trying to go for. It wasn't a perfect landing, but I don't think it was a terrible movie. I don't think it was as cynical as, say, She-Hulk. But that's a big part of the beginning because the Eternals have basically been around forever. That's the point. They've been around since the beginning of human civilization, and so there's big chunks that come specifically from the Eternals that's not covered by the other movies and TV shows. But the first half of the book, for the most part, was great. Walk down memory lane, and then once I got to the parts around the snap and the post-snap, especially within the shows, that's when it's like, okay, this reminds me, I don't like this stuff. And so that's kind of the kind of negative side, or the thing I don't like about the book. But if you want a very pretty book, it's really pretty. I'm definitely going to put it behind me so you guys can see it. If you want a pretty book. If you want a book that does bring back some good memories, it's fine. It's not terrible. It's well put together. It's well researched. And I really also like the fact that they do try to deal with the continuity errors. They don't ignore them, and so they have those in there. And there's a lot of stuff that I have not noticed before, so I think that's good. So I would say, if you're not happy with where the MCU has gone in recent years, don't buy this book. It's going to bring back bad memories. If you want a nice, pretty coffee table book that that does again have some cool stuff in it, check it out. But it's not a must go out and grab. Again, once I got to the She-Hulk thing, if I had seen that, if that was part of the advertisements for this, I likely wouldn't have bought it because I'm so annoyed with that. But having got it, I don't regret that I bought it because I think I like the book overall. If you want to buy the book, there's a link in the description box below where you can actually, an affiliate link where you can actually click on it and go ahead and buy the book from Amazon. That's where I bought it for $47. Also, if you found this review interesting and or informative, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video. If there are other MCU books or other related products that you want me to review on this channel, please leave those suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.